what's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Prison Break Raw. I'm your host, the one and only Big JD. This biological weapon that was imposed upon us in the name of COVID-19 has caused all kinds of havoc, as you already know. Most of you are still feeling the effects of this bullshit, even though the election is over, and I suspect and predict that we won't even think about or hear about COVID this time next year, because you already know what it is. Talked about this before. But all the problems that it's caused along the way, not only has it destroyed businesses that'll never come back ever again, but the fact that we're probably going to go into a lockdown, who knows for how long. It'll probably be a presidential mandate at that. I don't know how many states will follow it or if they even have to. But if it happens, even more businesses are going to go away and they'll be gone forever. But what about all the fraud that has been surrounding COVID-19 outside of COVID-19 being a fraud in itself? Not saying that it doesn't exist, saying was no accident. But what about the fraud? The fraud that is surrounding this thing right here. People claiming unemployment benefits behind this pandemic. That's where you file a claim with whatever state you're in, and you receive thousands of dollars in some cases. All you need is a Social Security card and fill in a couple of blanks, and bam, you got the cash deposited in your bank account. Would it surprise you to know that people that are in prison are actually doing the same thing? Does it surprise you? Doesn't surprise me at all, because I've seen things like this happen before. I have. And I got to tell you, it's not going to ever stop as long as there is something to file that will bring you some kind of a monetary gain. Somebody in prison is going to figure out a way to take advantage of that to the fullest. They did it in the Louisiana Department of Corrections with the Katrina thing. A bunch of people that ain't never even experienced that Hurricane Katrina were filing benefits under it. People were getting all kinds of shit. It's just a given. It's going to happen. If people see an opportunity to come up and they think they're not going to get caught, they're going to do it every single time. But don't ever think that you're going to get away with any of this. Because if you're putting your name and your number, Social Security and birth dates, whatever, then you're going to get hit. It's only a matter of time before you're busted. You know what I'm saying? And don't try to use the excuse that somebody stole your identity, because that's for you to try to prove in court. Remember, you're guilty until proven innocent. And it's not what it is, it's what it looks like. So if you had your identity taken and somebody claims some COVID benefits under it, well, you're going to have to prove that in court. It's just the way it goes. But in prison, on death row specifically, this man right here, Scott Peterson, I'm sure you've heard of him. He was a big national celebrity as far as celebrities are going when it comes to killing your wife and unborn child. Not to really say that he's a celebrity in the Hollywood world, but became like a high notoriety person dealing with murder. Like Richard Ramirez, like anybody, like that guy in Colorado, wherever it is. They're all over the place. National, international news. So Scott Peterson was one of them. And the guy's guilty as sin because he tried to run. And just, that case is sick in itself. I remember watching it on the TV when I was locked up. And when they finally found her body and the unborn baby had dislodged itself from her stomach, and they found the baby as well. But the guy's a sick pup. He's on death row, as he should be. Hopefully he'll never get out. But when I saw this story that he filed unemployment benefits under the COVID-19 relief in California, it didn't surprise me. But what are they going to do about it? What are they really going to do about this? Are they really going to file charges on this guy? They're going to make all of you that are out there in California pay for that trial? What are they going to do? Give him the death penalty? He's already got the death penalty. Personally, I think they should just freeze his trust account, try to get as much of the money back as they can, maybe raid his fucking locker and take all his canteen, I don't know. But to put him back on trial and to file charges against him, waste of time. Waste of time. He's already a dead man. So you got to ask yourself, what kind of a benefit is going to be had at making him or holding him accountable for this case? But he's not the only one. They said that thousands of them, 35,000 cases for unemployment filed by people that are incarcerated. Now you already know that most people inside got cell phones. So if you got a cell phone, you're going to be able to get in almost anything. I mean, shit, you could trade stocks and bonds. You could buy property. You could do all kinds of shit. You could order a pizza and send it to the warden's office. So many things you could do by having that smartphone in your cell. But yeah, he filed for unemployment benefits under COVID-19. And I would assume that he got paid. But a lot of these people got paid. Let me tell you about what I've seen happen before when I was in the California Department of Corrections and Rehumiliation. Dudes that were filing for their tax returns. I don't know where they were getting the numbers, the tax ID number to put on there, the employer's number. Whatever the case is, though, people were filing for unemployment benefits. And I remember one of my homies got at me and said, hey, Hook do this, man. File it, blah, blah, blah. You got to do is pay a couple of bucks so the dude's going to do it for you, and you're going to get paid. I never did it because I knew it was stupid. You're going to get caught. I mean, it's only a matter of time before you get caught. And sure enough, all them fools got caught. They got shipped. They got charges filed against them. All that's defrauding the feds as well as defrauding the state. But the state return, I don't think they got it, but the federal return, so that made it a federal crime. Federal tax fraud, from what I'm guessing they got. It's not worth it to me for a couple of bucks that they're going to end up making me pay back in restitution. So it's one of those kind of things that I just didn't entertain. But it happens. You'd be surprised at what kind of claims and what kind of things people are filing in these prisons. And you would think that it's just a bunch of dumbasses that don't know what they're doing. But yes, people file all kinds of fraudulent claims. And why would COVID-19 be any different? I mean, it was imposed upon us by fraudulent means to begin with. So it's only poetic justice that somebody hits them back with a little bit of karma and they got to pay. If most of that commissary or canteen in the state, it's called canteen, is gone already, what are they going to do? Freeze his account, make him pay it back? Who knows? But yes, let me just throw this out there. For anybody that's out there trying to get some kind of unemployment benefits through this COVID-19 relief package or whatever, I would strongly recommend and discourage you from doing anything like that, anything that has to do with your personal information, your own personal information. It's only a matter of time before it becomes full circle. They come back at your ass and they hit you with some time. They hit you with some charges. I mean, you can only hope that they would only ask you to pay it back, but I would assume that you could probably get some time. And if it's any kind of federal money involved, then you're going to do some Fed time. It's as simple as that. These kind of things, man, I never wanted to get involved in, never would get involved in, never will get involved with, because you're putting your own personal information on something. I mean, that's just like walking into a bank and robbing the bank that you have an account at. Stupid, man. Don't do it. But this is what's going on. So Scott Peterson's among many that did this. And I would imagine that there's going to be a lot more fraud coming down the line when it comes to this plandemic. You already know what it is. You heard it right here. Prison Break Raw, uncut, uncensored, no holds barred, non-sugarcoat, not politically correct, all up in your face, slapping you with that dick of reality. And I'm out.